income tax, but they needed to see. So proponents claim that everybody's going to pay less taxes, but somehow we're going to raise the same amount of money. You'll get to pick what you want to spend your money on. Everyone will have a lot more money to spend because you won't be paying any Nebraska income taxes or property taxes. So what they are proposing is going around in two different petitions right now. And how the petition system works here in Nebraska and why they have two petitions is we have what's called a single subject rule. So you can't put both the operation of removing a tax and how it will be implemented in the same petition. So they have two petitions that are circulating. The first one says no governmental entity in the state of Nebraska may impose taxes other than retail consumption taxes or excise taxes. The second one gives some more clarification. It says the state of Nebraska shall impose a retail consumption tax or an excise tax on all new goods and services. And the legislature may authorize political subdivisions to do the same. There shall be no exemption from such taxes except for grocery items. That sentence is very important. So it's grocery items purchased for off-premises consumption. There's no definition of grocery items anywhere in statute, so we assume they just mean food, and the legislature will have to define that. Otherwise, everybody will just shop at the grocery store and not pay taxes on it. So what does this mean? The Supreme Court has determined that if the language is plain on its face, you have to use that language. It's not open to interpretation. So the words I highlighted say they shall impose, that's not ambiguous at all new goods and services, no exemption except for grocery items. So why does this concern us? If the Epic Auction Consumption Tax pass, there is no plan to implement this in place right now. So this would pass this November. The legislature doesn't come back until January next year, and they would have 4.5 months to figure it out. LB 79, as I said, introduced last year, will die at the end of the 24th session. And senators in the 2025 legislature will have to develop and pass legislation to implement the change. And that legislation cannot conflict with the Constitution. By, oh gosh, I can't say the name of the group. By Open Sky Policy Network. And there are a group of people that say, well, that's just a liberal think tank. We can't count on their numbers. There's no way. They came in saying we're going to need a rate around 21%. Just last Thursday morning, the Tax Foundation, who is quoted numerous times on the EPIC website itself, came out with a study saying we'll need a rate at least 21.6 to be able to cover everything in the budget. Because the EPIC tax, their study did not include any of our bonded indebtedness, did not include roads funding, because right now when you buy a car, all those taxes go to our roads. So if you take those just to do regular operations, how are you going to pay for roads? There's nothing in there to plan for that. So when you look at a 21.6% tax, I don't see how it benefits people compared to what you're paying now in property and income taxes, even though I understand I pay a lot in property and income taxes myself. But I've done the math for myself, and you look at just what you spend money on, or if I have a kid in college, I'd be paying the consumption tax on his tuition and his room and board. So his tuition is going to go up by 21%. I didn't save that well.